Hello everyone, this is Rabbi Dovid Zirkind from the Riverdale Jewish Center with another installment of our weekly Parsha video. As we wrap up Sefer Vayikra, this Shabbos we'll read Parshas Behar and Parshas Bechukotai. Bechukotai at the end of this Sefer is where we review the predictions and that which we know has come true over the course of Jewish history, that the process of the Tochacha can befall the Jewish people if we don't live up to the commandments that Sefer Vayikra sets out for us. And when we read this and we read it in its lower tone, we read it quickly and quietly because we know of its truthfulness. We are intimidated by the standards that the Tochacha sets for us. After all, how difficult of a task is it to live up to the standards of Jewish life, and how painful are the consequences when we fail in the mission that God has set for us in our lives. But if we look at the contrast in Parshas Bechukotai between what the Tochacha says in the second half of the Parsha and what the Brachos expect of us in the first half of the Parsha, we'll notice something that I believe is very empowering. That the Torah sets an incredibly high standard for us because it also has a very low bar. It is true that the Tochacha happens when we fail our mission. But the contrast in Parshas Bechukotai is in Bechukotai telechu, and in Bechukotai timasu. Not if we do the mitzvos the right way and if we do the mitzvos the wrong way, but if we choose to live a proud Jewish life, if we attempt to fulfill the mitzvos that Vayikra sets out for us. And Bechukotai timasu means if we reject them, if we're disgusted by them, or as Rashi tells us, if we're disgusted by others who choose to live a religious life. The contrast in Parshas Bechukotai is not between Jews who succeed at performing mitzvos on the one hand and Jews who fail at performing mitzvos on the other hand. It's Jews who are proud of the mitzvos that they are attempting to fulfill, and Jews that are disgusted by the religion that they don't want to be a part of anymore. It's a very high standard, but the bar is very low. It's not about the minutia of halachic detail. Did we do everything right? Did we make a mistake along the way? It's about a love and a commitment, a Jewish lifestyle that we want to have, that we want to be a part of, as opposed to rejecting our Judaism outright. When we embrace our Judaism, we don't have to fear the consequences of the Tochacha, because we are not ma'usba. We're not disgusted by it. We're proud of it, even if it's hard, even if we haven't done it exactly right. There are times when our Judaism demands of us that we become obsessively focused on the details of mitzvah observance. We have to get our kashrus exactly right. Our mikvahs need to be built in the perfect way. There's so many examples of how halacha has inspired us to look at the smallest details of every single mitzvah. But every so often, and at the end of Sefer Vayikra, the Torah asks us to zoom out. It asks us to think in the big picture. Are we living Jewish lives? Are we proud of Jewish ideas? That's the key to Bechukotai telechu, not any mitzvah in particular or any detail above any other, but walking in God's footsteps, living a Jewish life that we're proud of. And when we can do that, we have no fear of the Tochacha at all. As we work our way towards Shavuos, we could be thinking about some of the specifics, but as we count the days of the Omer and work our way towards Kabbalas HaTorah, we should also be able to zoom out and think about the big picture. We remind ourselves that the high standards are because the bar is so low. The key to living a meaningful Jewish life is to make sure that we have a grand view of what it means to be a proud, observant Jew. Are we proud that we daven? Are we proud that we care for others? Are we proud that we support the state of Israel? Big questions. The details we'll figure out along the way. Let's make sure that we take stock every once in a while of the major issues that define us as a people and define us as individuals in our Jewish lives. We don't have to be Bechukotai timasu. We can be in Bechukotai telechu. We can be headed in the right direction, thinking with the right goals in mind. And then the brachos, the peace, the tranquility, the success, the happiness that Parshas Bechukotai promises us will turn out to be very much within our reach. I want to wish everybody a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you for watching. As always, look forward to celebrating Shavuos with you. We have an outstanding program lined up for Shavuos night and the entire Chag. Until then, Shabbat Shalom. We look forward to seeing you back at the RJC very soon.